Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to put together your microbit so that when you download your program, it will play your holiday tune and blink your LED. So I'm going to show you right now how to hook it all up so that when you do download it, it'll work. All right. So first of all, these are the things you're going to need. Going to need your microbit, right? Got to have your microbit. You're going to need your USB cable. You want to hook them together nice and careful. Remember, we want to make sure that they get put in together real careful and then just pop it in there so you see it lit up there. So we got it together. Now, we're going to need at least 4 alligator clips because you want 4 alligator clips because you're going to connect your little buzzer thing here. This is your little speaker buzzer, but it will play the music. And then you're also going to connect your LED to make it light up, right? Want to make sure that our LEDs and our buzzers, this is our little buzzer and this is the LED. Okay, and you're going to need 4 different colors. I used 4 different colors because, you want to make sure you separate them. So we have 4 different alligator clips. Now, putting them together. Okay, so of course, when you write your program, remember, when you're working with your LEDs, you want to make sure that you're putting your pin, you're using the same pin on each one. So for the buzzer or for the little speaker, you're going to use the 0 pin, right? Because we know that our little pin, our 0 pin, will go to our buzzer. We'll connect to our buzzer. So we're going to connect the 0. We're going to connect to 0. And then I'm going to connect to the negative side right here. Right here, the little negative side. See the little negative? I think you can see it. It's very tiny. But yes, this is the negative side, and we're going to connect that. We're going to get a good solid ground. Okay, we want a good solid ground. And then I'm going to take one of the different ones. I think I used yellow. So it's okay. Green and yellow go good together. They are Jamaican colors, or they are Brazilian colors also. Brazilian colors. All right, so we're going to add our clip, our alligator clip over here to the little plus sign on this side, okay? So I want to add it to the plus sign. We're going to get a good ground on that. Make sure we have a good ground. All right, then we're going to add this back to our microbit, right? We're going to add this back to the ground. Remember, everything we connect, all the outputs we're connecting to the ground. All righty. Now, if it were input, remember, it would be to the 3V because it's going to give it power. But when we're doing the output, we want to ground it, all right? So you can already hear it. I think you can hear it. So it's playing already. So we have it connected right. All right. Now we want to make we want to connect our LED. So again, we're going to have 2 wires. We're going to connect. Now, this is important, guys, okay? So when you're connecting, you want to make sure that you connect this long edge of the LED. You want to put it to the pin, okay? So you're going to connect the long one to the pin. And I used pin number 1, so we're going to connect it to pin number 1. So I get my little alligator clip, and I'm going to connect it. These little plastic things are, slippery. They're very slick. They're slick. Woo! They're slick. All right, here we go. Okay, so, all right, I'm still having trouble with it. I'll tell you what, let's try the other side. There we go. Remember, we want to connect this one to the long one because we're going to put this long one, we're going to connect it. Tell you what, we're going to unhook him because he's a little noisy while we work. So we're going to connect him to the pin 1, okay? So pin 1, we got pin 1 right here. We're going to connect it to pin 1, all right? So get a good ground. Remember how I showed you. See how I'm sticking them straight in? Because sometimes I think you get a better ground that way, and you want a good solid ground to make sure it connects well. Now we're going to take our red alligator clip right here. Take a red alligator clip, and I'm going to connect it to the short side. Remember, we connected The long side's going to go to the pin, and the short side's going to go to the ground, the GRND, okay? So I got it connected here, right? And then I'm going to put this one. Now, you see, I already have one connected to the ground, but I can do it two ways. I can either connect it flat, like laying it like so. I don't know if you can see that. So it looks like this. You see, I put it in between the two right there. There you go. See, I put it in between the two right there. Or, and I know this is interesting, but it will work also. You can connect it to the buzzer on the plus side, like so. Okay? You should give it a try. Test it out. See if it works. And if it doesn't work, do it something different, right? That's how we work. It's called, what do we call that? We call that trial and error. Trial and error. Because when it doesn't work, you try again. And if that doesn't work, you try something else. So it's trial and error. So right now, though, I'm going to put it back over here so you can see it, okay? And I'm going to connect it just how I had it, straight in there. I want a good solid ground in between it, all right? Now, I'm going to connect the USB back together, okay? Here we go. Let me connect it back together. And then I'm going to push my little blinking button. And looky there, guys. I got myself my blinking. You see my blinking light? I don't know if you can hear it, but it is playing it. I got them connected together. Look at that. And it is playing Jingle Bells, so it does work. All right, so this is how you would connect everything together to your microbit. One huge circuit, right, guys? We learned that in science class way back in the 4th grade, probably the 3rd grade. So don't forget, it's circuit, okay? You want everything connected. You have everything connected so that it plays together. All right, so now let's take a peek at that program, okay? Okay, so let's get down to the program part of this extra credit. So we are in Microbit, right? And of course, we want to open a new project. And I'm going to name it Holiday Song. And my last name. Remember, always put your last name. That way I know who to give credit to. Okay, so now we are in our basic environment here, and we've got OnStart and Forever. Now, I'm not going to use the Forever one because I'm going to be testing my song a lot. And if I'm testing my song and I have it on forever, it's going to continuously play it, and I won't be able to hear the beats. So I'm going to just start with OnStart. Now, in the music drawer, we're going to use play tone, a lot of these play tones. We're going to play the tone, and you can change your keys by clicking in the middle here. And I know if I go look, if you choose Jingle Bells or Rudolph, okay, you can name your song, you can name your project that. But again, you're going to click on the document, and these are the different notes that you're going to be using. And this is the length of beats, okay? So we have 29 different codes here we're going to use. Now think about it. Could we make sure some of these are shortened? So for example, this one says to play a middle E 2 times. So if I duplicate that and I stick it in there, right, and I play it, test it. Okay, it plays it, right? And then it says middle E 2 beats. And then I'm going to add a middle E 2 beats. So go back to my music drawer, get my play tone, do a middle E, and I'm going to change my beats to 2 beats. Now let me see how this plays. Let's play one more time. Okay, it sounds kind of right. Let's see, then it says here, we're going to go for a rest, 1/16 of a rest. So we're going to go back to our music, and look here, we've got our melody, our tones, and under our tone is where we're going to find our rest. So we're going to pull that out, and then we can change it by clicking on the beat here, the little arrow, to 1/16. I'm pretty sure that's what this says right here, 1/16. So now let's test it. Let's retest it. It sounds about right. But you know, there's a duplicate here. Couldn't I shorten this up? Because I have a feeling 29 codes is a lot. Could I like take some of these and like duplicate them? So like this first one here, I could go in here and get my repeat, and I can take this out, pull this away, and take one of these out and put in here and delete one and change it to 2, right? And now I have just shrunk it. Now let's test it and see if it works. Then I'll put it after that. That sounds right, right? Jingle bells. Yeah. And so Miss Lyra, she sang all the way through when she was building it. Now, guys, Miss Lyra is not going to go through and build the entire code for you because I want you to make it work on your own, and I want you to think and challenge yourself. Because if everything just came so easy, we wouldn't be able to exercise our brains and make those cells grow. Because if we don't exercise our brains, remember what happens? Our cells shrink. So what we want to do, this is your on start. This is your beginning, okay? So again, you're going to refer back and you're going to build your code from this. Now, that is for the music part, okay? So this right here is going to go with our little speaker that I told you about. Now, what about the light? So I am going to start with an on button press, okay? So on button A, I am going to add down here under advanced in the pins. We're going to add a digital right pin. Okay, remember how we did this before? We talked about the pins in class. Well, this time we're actually going to use it, guys, because if you're connecting those outputs, you want to make sure that you're using the right pins. So we're going to change because our speaker is going to be connected to the 0 pin. In order for this to work, we're going to go and change this one to pin 1 because this is for our light. We want our light to blink. So, and I'm going to change it to 1 on. Remember, 1 is on, 0 is off. So we want the light on, and then I want it to blink. So, kind of like animating, right? Let's see here. What if I pause it for 500 seconds, and then I possibly turn it off, which I'm going to go down here to the pins, and I'm going to pull another digital pin, and make sure you have your pins correct, because if they're not the same, it's not going to work, because this is on the same pin, right? And then we're going to turn it off. So here I got my digital pin off. So let's play it a little bit. You can see right here, my lights hasn't, my pin didn't light. Did my pin light up? Didn't light up. Oh, on button A, of course. On button A. There it is. Okay. Now let's see. We want it to blink more than just once, right? So let me think. Maybe I'll add another pause in here and make it 5 milliseconds. And then what if I made it do it a whole bunch of times? Like say, I loop it and say I do it like, there we go. And if I do it like several times, 5 times, while we play our song there. So if I play on start, push my A button. See, it's still working. So as the more times we make this happen, if I were to put this into a repeat or a forever, right? If I take this and put this into a forever here, see? And then I run it. Okay, it's going to repeat it over and over, right? Okay, so but you get the idea. So I have a blinking light and it's blinking to my tunes. So let me get my on start out here again. All right, so I've given you a head start. So here's the beginning of your music, your tunes, and here is the code in order to make your light blink, your LED blink. Now, I want you guys to take the initiative and challenge yourselves, and I want you to make this program work, connect it with the real microbit, and watch it happen. Okay, guys?